In this funny story by Emily Henry, we are going to talk about a twist that really shocked me. It is not a romance, it is a total wrecking ball to everything the main character thought she knew about her life. I just finished reading Funny Story, and I am still thinking about what I read. This is mostly because of how raw and messy the characters get when their lives fall apart in a public way. Imagine you spent years building a life with a man you thought was your forever, only for him to sit you down and tell you he is in love with his childhood friend. This is the one person he told you not to worry about. Before we talk about the chaos of Daphne's reality, I want to tell you to subscribe to Novel Recapped and hit the bell icon for more interesting novels recapped like this. Now, let's get into why this summary is going to make you want to throw your Kindle across the room and then immediately go buy a plane ticket to a small town in Michigan. Daphne is the kind of person who likes a plan. She likes things neat and tidy. She is a children's librarian. Her life was supposed to be a storybook. She moved to Waning Bay, Michigan, a town she did not even like just because her fiancé, Peter, wanted to be near his roots. She left her job, her mom, and her entire comfort zone in New York to be with him. Then, at his bachelor party, Peter realizes he does not want to marry Daphne. He wants to marry Petra. Petra is Peter's friend. She is edgy and cool. She is the exact opposite of Daphne. So, you're Daphne. You have no friends in this town. You have no house because the house belonged to Peter. You have a job that barely pays the bills. The only person who understands your pain is the one person you would never expect to talk to, Miles. Who is Miles? He is Petra's ex-boyfriend, the guy who was also dumped so that Peter and Petra could be together. Daphne and Miles end up becoming roommates because neither of them has anywhere else to go. It's the ultimate misery loves company situation. Miles is the opposite of Peter. Where Peter was organized and safe, Miles is a walking disaster zone of emotions and messy laundry. He is tall, scruffy, wears vintage shirts that look like they haven't been washed in a week. Daphne moves into his apartment, and at first, they barely speak. It's two ghosts haunting a kitchen. Then things start to shift. They decide to lean into the absurdity of it all. They start a dating plot, but not the kind you see in movies, where they go to high society galas. They start posting photos of their adventures around Waning Bay just to make Peter and Petra jealous. They want their exes to see that they are not just surviving, they are thriving. At least that's what the Instagram filters say. The heart of this recap is really about the burn. This is not a story where they fall in love overnight. It's a story where two broken people slowly realize that the perfect lives they lost were actually of suffocating. Daphne realizes she was molding herself into what Peter wanted. She was the sensible choice, the girl who would never challenge him. Miles was too much for Petra. He was loud, too emotional, too present. As the summer in Michigan heats up, the tension between Daphne and Miles becomes unbearable. They go on these dates that are supposed to be fake, and suddenly the acting starts feeling a lot like reality. Daphne starts seeing the beauty in Waning Bay that she was too miserable to see. She starts making friends like her coworker Ashley, who is a chaotic bisexual legend and honestly deserves her own spin-off book. One of the intense moments in the book happens when Daphne has to deal with her estranged father. This is where the emotional weight of the novel really hits. Daphne's dad is a flake. He's a guy who pops in and out of her life whenever it's convenient for him. Every time he does, he breaks a little more of her heart. Miles is the one who stands by her through it all. He doesn't try to fix it, he just sits in the mess with her. That is the moment you realize Miles is not a rebound. He's the person who has ever truly seen Daphne for who she is, not just who she can be for someone else. Of course, the past does not stay in the past. Peter and Petra are always there, hovering on the edges of their lives. There's a wedding coming up, the wedding that was supposed to be Daphne's. Watching Daphne navigate the grief of losing the life she thought she wanted while simultaneously falling for the guy who represents everything she used to fear is a roller coaster. Miles has his own baggage too. He's terrified of being too much. He's been told his life that his intensity is a flaw. Daphne loves his intensity. She loves the way he cares about things. She loves the way he looks at her like she's the only person in the room. The climax of the book is not some gesture at an airport, it's a realization in a kitchen. It's about choosing to stay when things get hard. By the time we get to the end of this funny story summary, you see that the funny story isn't about the breakup. It's about the life that happens after the tragedy. It's about the friends you make in the trenches and the love you find when you stop looking for the person and start looking for the right person. The ending of the novel is bittersweet, but ultimately hopeful. Daphne doesn't just get the guy, she gets herself back. She realizes she doesn't need to be in New York to be happy. She doesn't need a fiancé to be valid. She just needs a community, a job she loves, and someone who thinks her quirks are the best part of her. Miles, though? Well, Miles learns that he's not a consolation prize. He's the event. Their chemistry by the end of the book is off the charts. It's the kind of romance that makes you feel like you're glowing. If you ever felt like you were the before person in someone's love story, this book is for you. It's a reminder that your story is just beginning, even when it feels like the credits are rolling. Daphne's journey as a librarian also serves as a metaphor for her life. She's surrounded by stories. She felt like hers was written in stone. When she starts leading the children's story hour, she finds her voice. She stops reading the script and starts improvising. This mirrors her relationship with Miles. With Peter, everything was scripted. With Miles, every day is an unwritten page. The fake dating trope works well here because it allows them to be vulnerable under the guise of pretending. They tell each other things they never told their exes because it doesn't matter, we're not real. That vulnerability is exactly what makes them real. They share their insecurities, their funniest childhood memories, and their secret fears. One scene that really sticks out is when they're stuck in the car during a rainstorm. The air is thick with everything they're not saying. Miles reaches over to tuck a strand of hair behind Daphne's ear. The world just stops. It's not a kiss, not yet. It's the moment they both know they're in deep. As we approach the last chapters, the tension with Peter reaches a boiling point. There's a confrontation that needed to happen. Daphne finally stands up for herself, not out of anger, out of a new sense of self-worth. She tells Peter that she's grateful he left because he gave her the chance to find a life she actually likes. It's the growth moment. The book wraps up with a feeling of a summer evening, the kind where the sun stays out late and the air smells like lake water and possibilities. Funny Story is a recap of how to survive the thing that ever happened to you and turn it into the best thing that ever happened to you. It's a story about resilience, laughter, and the unexpected joy of a life rewritten. I hope this Funny Story recap gave you all the feels. It's a reminder that when the plot of your life takes a sharp left turn into a ditch, there might be someone standing there with a tow truck and a really great smile ready to help you out with your funny story. The Funny Story is a reminder that you're not alone when things get tough.